So you have not only started this, like, I'm still in awe, 4 years. You've opened for what? Kendrick Lamar, Big Sean's, big names
Sean,
like
Mac
that.
Miller, a bunch of people.
I mean, literally, and you just started just on MySpace. If you weren't rapping, like, would you even use your degree, like, at all?
I've used my degree to this point, I would say, you know, opening up or like opening up your mind as far as demographics go and knowing kind of like ways to move your record. You can't really just put out a record without having some sort of marketing plan behind it. So I mean, I used the things I learned in college, and I took lots of heart as far as the good professors I had who knew what I was doing and said, you know, you have a chance to do this not only because of what you're doing, but because of just how you are, and that gave a lot of perspective into it. If I wasn't rapping, I don't know. I'd probably be working at a golf course. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Oh, a golf course?
Yeah, like, I mean, that's what I love to do. I like to play golf. You know, I played golf in high school and things like that.
Oh,
and so,
wow.
I mean, that's honestly what I'd be doing. Maybe I would be at a firm. I doubt it. But I definitely would like eventually to own my own sort of, you know, publishing firm that would tie into being with my degree or whatever you want to say.
Oh, wow.
Long-term goals. I would like to do what I've done for myself here for other people, you know, as far as like a label and helping guide people's careers and making the right moves to realize that you really can build a local brand that can provide just through being diligent and being focused and actually just not caring what anybody else thinks. And I think that if I had anything to say to other Oklahomans doing it is you have to put away with the competition in the city and ways with that, because it's not going to get you anywhere. It's only a competition here, so it's only known about here. So you have to look further and look beyond, and that's why we started attacking small cities like Lawrence, Kansas, Wichita, you know, Conway, Arkansas, places where it's really similar to here. And you just have to get out of that whole competitive aspect in your city, because once one person makes it, then all the shine comes through to the city. You know, it's almost like if one makes it, you'll all make it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and I've dealt with that. You know, I've battled that. I'm not unguilty of acting that way. So.
Okay, random question. I have never seen you without a hat. Like, is that like a signature? Like, I have never, ever seen you without a hat. It doesn't come off in a show, nothing.
The hat, I have been wearing hats since I could remember. And like, I don't know. It's just, I got long hair. You wake up in the morning, you just put your hat on, and that's kind of how it goes. When I was growing up, my mom, the only time I would take my hat off was to shower as a kid. So I would like sleep in my ball caps, and they would have to like throw certain hats away, and it'd be this huge disaster because, you know, like it smelled awful. But I was like, no, that's my favorite hat. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's why, but I'm just a hat guy.
So back to your music. Where do you see your music? Do you want to take it to a major label, or do you want to stay independent? Because tossing up in the air, more people are wanting to go independent nowadays. So what would be your preference?
Don't have a preference. I think there's a lot of things you can do with a major label, and with the new record deal that they're giving out, to where they're not signing somebody to, let's say, an Interscope. They're signing Josh Sallee Records to Interscope. So you're giving full control over your own record label. So it's like a partnership. They're just giving you the power and the tools at hand of a major label. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The 360 deal, which is what trapped artists and what kind of took away from the major label, is what makes people run. And there's people like Mac Miller and who are doing it independently. But the thing with the independent is Mac Miller just created this $1 million enterprise on his own, but he also just got sued for $10 million from a major artist, you know, from back in the day, because he used an uncleared sample. And had he been with Sony or Interscope, that's not going to happen. The samples are cleared. You don't have to worry about that. You know, your label's going to handle it. And they can get global money, per se. Interscope has distribution that really nobody can touch, and that's with any major label. So I don't have a preference. If a major label came at me with the right figure, the right idea, the right set of mind maybe, and got behind my plan, then I wouldn't have a hesitancy. But there is also no doubt nowadays you can do this thing independently through the internet, but it's just a little bit tougher.
Okay, so what can fans expect from you in the near future? I mean, it's about to be school starting, the summer's ending, you're gonna need back to school tracks. I mean, what can fans expect from you?
School is a really big, like, school starting is huge for me, huge for everybody. Summer can be a little slow. We have a bunch of really big concerts coming up. Currency is in August. Big Crit is also in August. Juicy J is coming here at the beginning of August. So some really big major names are coming through. As for me, I am working on new music.
Ooh, I bet fans are excited.
I'm gonna try and shoot a couple videos, get a couple visuals done. I think that's important. And I'm gonna continue to travel. We'll have a college tour set up in August that'll hit, OU, OSU, Lawrence, Wichita, hopefully Dallas, Houston, Austin, and Tulsa. So we're trying to set up a big tour right now. And then really it's just about getting in the studio, working on new music, pumping out good ideas, and then releasing it and continuing to push. I just got back from LA, which was a really, really, really huge trip. I got to work with Cisco Adler from Swayze.
Oh, wow.
And meet some really major blogs, which is a big part of the hip hop scene and big part of spreading your name in the hip hop scene. And then Paradigm, which is like my management team, they're out in NYC right now. So they're making links out there. So it's really been like anticipation for college, because that's when there's 18-year-olds all coming from high school who either know about the music or will find out about the music through these little tours, through these little date parties, whatever shows we do. So it's always a really good time to grow, and we're going to capitalize, I think, on OU season, and OSU season. I think football season is a big part of our success. So.
Absolutely. So last question, how can fans get in touch with you? I mean, you're all over. You type in Josh Sallee in Google and all of the stuff pops up. You personally, can you tell your fans how to contact you via Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that?
I mean, it's pretty easy. It's just on Twitter, it's at Josh Sallee. It's Sallee. It's not Sally or Sallee. It's Sallee. But I still have a personal Facebook. I don't know. I almost have. I think if you get so many friends, you have to become a like page, and I don't want that to happen. But I think I'm close to that. But I mean, I still have my Facebook, and I mean, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I try to hit everybody up who hits me on Twitter. I have 2 free albums at joshsallee.com. You just hit them both, and they're right in your iTunes. And I think that's been a big thing. I haven't jumped the gun to sell any music yet. I don't really plan to yet, and I think that ears are kind of your reimbursement. Is if somebody's going to give you their time to listen to music and then they like you, then they're going to come to a show. And right now the only way to really support yourself, and even with these major artists, is to tour. They're paying their big budgets that are given to them beforehand to make a deal off of the sales, and then they're going out and touring and making their money. So joshsallee.com gets your free music, and I mean, you can follow me on Twitter at Josh Sallee.
Okay, I lied. This is the last question.
This is the last question.
I promise.
Are you sure?
Yes, I promise. Who would you, if you had to work with somebody right now, artist, producer, I mean, who would you work for? I want to get that on the record, okay? So be honest.
I've answered this question differently, I think, every day. I really would like to work with Kendrick Lamar. I really would like to work with Drake. I really would like to work with Big Sean. I think that those are 3 rappers. I'd really like to work with Justin Timberlake. That's kind of the high goal, up there. I'm a big JT fan. I'd like to work with Cage Elephant, which is a band. I'd like to work with Gavin DeGraw, who's a singer, one of my favorite singers. And then probably, actually the most, I'd like to work with Lauryn Hill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's my favorite.
Hey, you all heard it here. Josh, thank you for dropping by.
No, thank you. I had a really good time.
Appreciate you. Me too. Anytime you want to stop by, go ahead and stop on by. For news 24/7, you all can visit newsok.com.